Hey YouTube, coming at you with a viewer submitted battle from earlier in the season in the Great League. Thank you. I'm not going to pronounce that right, so thank you for the submission. Lantern, Skarmory, Arctibax. And I wanted to showcase this team because I don't have an Arctibax. I've seen it being used in Holiday Cup a lot and Retro Cup. So I wanted to see it used in the Open Great League. So that's the main reason I'm doing it. Skarmory, Steel Wing, buff there, plus Lantern, right? Those are two sort of just cores that you use, two super strong Pokemon that you use in Open Great League as a core. Anyways, so I want to see Arctibax in action here. Let's look at some battles. So Medi Lead, let's see if it's running Dynamic Punch, because okay, that was way too fast. Again, early in the season, you don't need to shield this. Could just be Power Punch. They're just going to ramp up on you. Which those do ramp up. I forget if you need two Thunderbolts here. I think with the Spark buff that you can probably just go two Surfs, but this thing is going to ramp up real fast, and you are weak to fighting on your Arctibax, and you're weak to... I probably would have thrown there. So I think you have to... throw that Surf, because right now this Medi is just like ramping up, and if you're going to make a move here, Skarmory's still neutral to this, right? So these counters are going to add up, and Steel Wing's going to do like okay, but it's not going to take it out enough. So I think you have to like, you already got one shield. I think you try and burn the second shield, or like chip a lot with the Surf, and then come Steel Wing. Steel Wing Skarmory, actually, to tell you the truth, I don't even think you leave that matchup. Like Steel Wing Skarmory is very, very, very risky as a safe swap, right? Because it is very dominant in certain matchups, but if a Lantern comes in or something that just walls Steel and flying, like this is a very risky swap. So Azumarill comes in. Azumarill's fine. Ice Beam will hurt, won't take you out. I would probably just go straight to... Yeah, you can do that. I think two Sky Attack's going to take this out. No, it probably needs a Brave Bird. Well, you could probably do two... You could probably shield. I would shield and just do like two Sky Attacks here. Or let it go. Okay. Are you going to try and farm down here and come out with multiple moves? No, see, now you got to dump. And you're trying to just go straight Arctibax. You better hope they don't have a second fighter in the back. Or they don't shield this, which they may just shield and just try and ramp up whatever in the back here, and then you're in trouble. Yeah. Now you're in trouble, because this thing's just going to Power Punch and just take you out before you can even do much. You got to shield. No? You like just holding on to your shields? Okay, this game's over. I think you're too low. Like, even resisted, unless it's... I don't know what's in the back, but even resisted, you're probably in trouble. And the fact that you're now being resisted means you're super trouble. Avalanche is not going to be enough to take this out. So I think there's a few things here. I think one, use shields. Two, I think you stay in that Spark Lantern matchup as long as you can, because Skarmory is not a safe swap. I think you need to use shields more. When my opponents are down a shield, I like to just like... I think you could have almost gone like... You either play two ways with that Skarmory. You either Steel Wing a bunch and like come out loaded with energy and throw that Sky Attack, take that out, or you almost just like get to 100 energy, go Brave Bird straight away, and you'll probably still get to a Brave Bird your second one as well. So that's how I would play that differently. Still almost won, because Skarmory just like gets walled by Lantern, right? So it's just such a bad matchup. Okay, Greedent here. Greedent becomes a little trickier. Again, okay catch if you're catching a Body Slam. Skarmory's just so risky. Catching a Trailblaze, that's nice. This is not great, but it's not terrible, because they can like, you can threaten a Brave Bird here. They'll probably shield out of like respect for that Brave Bird. You can probably get to another Brave Bird here, especially if they're just farming up a ton. Yeah, this is good. This is grabbing both shields or taking them out. So now you took them out, so now you got Switch and you got a shield. Tentacruel. Poison's resisted. You can get to a Brave Bird. Okay, this is just going to be easy. Again, I still don't love Skarmory as a safe swap. But now you Spark down. You don't even need to shield anything here. Just Spark. Don't throw your move yet. Just save your move for catch a move. You think you caught another Trailblaze? Two Trailblaze catches is huge. You don't need to shield, but yeah, like, because it's not like the Tentacruel has anything to throw at the Lantern, so with Lantern you can just like dominate it. Getting to 2. Yeah, just you can farm down here, doesn't matter. Okay. Shadow Garchomp in the Great League. Interesting. Coming to Arctibax, which is risky. Oh my god. Throw the dart. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is this team? This has got to be the... And it's a Dragon Tail. Oh my god. They got to shield that. Why were they... Okay. So now Skarmory just comes in and just dominates this because they're running... It's probably just a the Sand Tomb, yeah. And I'm guessing they're going to have some sort of like other like fairy or counter user or something in the back just to try and... Shadow Vic. This is interesting because they still have 2 shields, right? So they can double shield. Yeah, I think you have to just throw Surf. I mean, shield now. I would just throw Surf. Like the Sparks and Surfs are doing so much, and if you just like combine Chip with those 2, you'll be able to Steel Wing. You'll still be able to Steel Wing down anyways. Your opponent needs to learn how to use shield. You should, if you are running a fast move damage team like that, there's no reason that you should ever have shield left. So Poliwrath is a good lead. Your opponent is also not getting out. I doubt they're running Dynamic Punch. Maybe they are. But like, I would just take the chance that they're not. If they're staying in with this matchup, it's likely they, 1, don't know what they're doing, or 2, that they're double weak in the back to Lantern. Like a Skarmory or something. So they're trying to just like get this out of here and deal with that. So it's not a terrible shield there, because you've got to be reading that like, why are you staying in with this matchup? I don't know if that bait is worth it. I think you just take it out and take switch, because now you just went down 2 shield. You went down a shield, and you have very little health left. And now this has a Moonblast. Okay. I'm surprised they made that switch. Why would you make that switch? Why wouldn't you just Moonblast this dragon? You should be able to Dragon... Yeah, that's... You want to see the problem with a 5-turn fast move in action? There you go. Just full out Dragon Breath down. Skarmory is now just going to wall this thing. They could have killed you. They had shield advantage. They had a Cresselia, unless it's running, but even Future Sight would do well against Arctibax. I don't know. That was very weird. Okay, bad lead. Like, you have to come Arctibax, which is just gonna be like neutral, but maybe even behind because you are now behind on the Dragon Breath. Looks like if they're smart, they just shield and farm down at this point. Yep, barely. Jeez, Arctibax is interesting. Okay, maybe they don't have Aqua Tail. Azumarill, yep, Azumarill to not see your Lantern. That is smart. But Steel Wing makes this a okay matchup. You have 2 shields. You could use 1. You don't like using shields, eh? I'm just worried that they're going to have an answer to Lantern in the back here if they're running a Azumarill. But they're not getting out. You could shield up a potential Poliwrath. Nope. Okay. You think that if they're staying in here, maybe they don't have an answer in the back, which is like a bad team comp here. If that's the case, that you're just weak to one of the most obvious Pokemon in the meta here. Yeah, just double shield, double thunderbolt. Even if it is a surf here, but I think you kind of have to at this point. Getting the spinning ball of death. They may have just like legged out here. Whenever you're getting the spinning ball of death like that and you're still playing, it means your opponent has legged out. So opponent has legged out. Yeah, you can just spark all the way down. There's no point. The only risk of throwing is that it kicks you out too, so you might as well just spark all the way down. So Lantern against a Poliwrath again. Hopefully you do not bait. Ooh, Mud Shot. Mud Shot Poliwrath. Could be Dynamic Punch. No, just an Icy Wind. Lowering your attack. Going Credilli. Credilli now taking super effective with these Steel Wings because of the ground. Rock Slides will chip, not a ton. Bullet Seed resisted. Sky Attack, Brave Bird are going to be neutral. You can take another move and then farm up a bit more and then go Sky Attack. I probably would not want to take a third one though. Yeah. I don't... It's neutral. Will Sky Attack take out from this range? Probably not. Yeah. Can you farm down? You can. That's fine. Yeah, just go Sky Attack. There's no point in lowering your... Especially with the running Mud Shot. Just going Sky Attack is fine. Gonna try... I know you just don't want them to get like 100 energy, but they're going to have to throw anyways. They should have... Okay, they need better answers to Lantern if you're going to run Poliwrath. If you're going to run Poliwrath, you need... Well, I guess it's not terrible. I guess you did have an answer in Credilli and a mirror match. Okay, that's fine. That's about as much as you need. I think if you're going to run like a Great League team at this point, like... You probably... It's tough, though. It depends what you're seeing, I guess. But you probably should try and, like, watch out for, at this point, Lanterns, Lickitungs. Lanterns and Lickitungs are the two that I would watch out for in the open Great League at this point. 2 shields. Good. Okay, shield anything. I mean, you don't need to, but you can. I guess you're just going to 2-shield flex on them. It's tough to gauge like how strong a Pokemon is this early in the season when the matches are still kind of like this. So Skeledirge, I mean, they should probably be getting out. Surf won't take it out. They could land a Shadow Ball. Okay. You'll live anything. Is a Shadow Ball. Can they get to it? No, you're going to take it out here before. Yeah. You take it out in the... I never kind of understood that. I don't mind this getting out. And now you'll have Arctibax on it. Yeah, I don't mind getting out there. Again, Skarmory is kind of tricky, but could just easily get walled. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the Incinerate is a 5-turn move, and Spark is a 2-turn move, and it takes 3 Sparks to take out the Skeledirge there. And every single time I've played that matchup or been in a matchup where that scenario has existed, it always happens. It always happens where even though they theoretically should be done their 5-turn move, they can't get to... They were at a charge move. But they can't get to the charge move because I think the Spark damage registers... You don't like using shields, eh? I guess I think... Because I know the actual moves damage don't register like right on the full 1. Like they don't register, like if it's a 2-turn fast move, it doesn't register on 2. If it's a 4-turn fast move, it doesn't register on 4. It registers before. Which is why I think a Spark is a 2-turn fast move is registering before. Maybe it's registering on the 1. If anyone knows like when moves register, let me know. I know I for 100% sure no, it's not registering on the end of the move. I think it registers before the end of a move. It's just how much before is the question. So Arctibax, you're using Avalanche. So I said there's Icy Wind. I said for sure is an upgrade on Poliwrath. I said I would probably run Frostlass with Avalanche. I would probably run Arctibax with Avalanche. And the moveset in the Open Great League is Avalanche, the PV Poke recommended moveset, because it's the same energy as Avalanche, but just 36 less damage. And what you're trading off is for 36 less damage, you are lowering your opponent's attack by 1. So I guess it kind of makes... Oh yeah, it's... sorry, Frostlass doesn't get Icy Wind, it gets Triple Axle. But, jeez. What Arctibax, so when I saw Arctibax in the in like Retro Cup and in Holiday Cup, it was kind of sneaky bulk, and I think it's where that stamina is coming in. So it's a 123 attack, 97 defense, which sucks, but 151 stamina is actually quite decent. It gets up to like level 27. Rank 1 is level 27.50, 14, 13. So the question is, does Icy Wind make sense over Avalanche? And in the trade-off, because the Dragon Breath damage is doing so much per turn, right? It's doing 4.8 damage per turn, which is quite a lot, and decent energy generation. So do you need the Avalanche for nuke abilities potentially, or do you just need something to lower your opponent's attack that you can just out Dragon Breath them? And I guess it depends on how you want to use this Pokemon. I wonder if, I mean, PV Poke probably has, you can probably just, actually let me just sim this. I'll do max stat product for them, but not Arctibax. I'll do a Matrix. I'll do Arctibax with Avalanche. I'll do Arctibax with... I've got to imagine that it probably sims better with Avalanche. You know what? It's even. It's 22 and 22 record, both with Icy Wind and Avalanche. Your average is slightly higher with Avalanche, just more consistency. Let me see. I'm guessing in the zeros you do worse, but in the twos you do better. So in the zeros, you only have one more win with Avalanche, and in the twos, I've got to imagine that Icy Wind is where you're going to start picking up here. You only pick up 1. You pick up 1, you win 23 as opposed to 22. Icy Wind versus Avalanche, but your average is much higher, which makes sense to me because you could just, like, in the 2 shield, lower your opponent's attack twice. So on paper, there's actually not a ton of difference in Icy Wind versus Avalanche. It looks like there's like one more win in the 0 and 1 with a little more consistent. No, one more win in the 0 with more consistency and average. Even in the 1s with a little more higher average. And then one more win for Icy Wind in the 2s with a decent amount more average. Right? So it really depends on how you want to run the Pokemon and what your sort of team... I think it depends on I think it depends on how you're building your team and how you decide to run it. I think Avalanche, I probably would use Icy Wind if you're doing like a fast move damage team or something. I think you run Avalanche if you want to try and grab shields. I think you run Icy Wind if you want to try to do more like fast move damage, or maybe build it with some bulk that can absorb the damage, and then you're just Dragon Breathing and Icy Winding. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't have it. I've caught one. I've got one, and I've hatched 2 of the Frigbacks or whatever the baby one's called. So it's just like I don't have any. I don't know how it like plays. And there's always like it's interesting for me to like watch this and go against it, so I kind of have a feel for it, but it's different when you play with it yourself, I think. Okay, taking the shield advantage, gonna give up Lantern, farm down. They give up Switch and snipe with Vigoroth, so it's worth the shield. I don't know how much energy they have. I wasn't obviously paying attention before, so it's probably, yeah, I think you have to shield. If they had that much energy, I would have. No, it's kind of tricky. I think coming out with energy is probably the right move because you know. Oh, yeah, going Thunderbolt here is smart. Thunderbolt, I think you immediately have to get out and try and get to the Avalanche before you get Charm down. Which I think you should, because you're pretty spammy, and the problem with the Charmers is they are not spammy, right? They're hard-hitting Charmers, so you are able to get to the move. Now just take this out for the win. So thank you for the submission. I know these are like... I went off a little bit for the last few battles there, but these are like early submissions, so you can see some of the opponents' misplays. Yeah, the only thing I would say with you is Lantern, I'm probably staying in all neutral leads. I don't love Skarmory as a safe swap. I don't love Arctibax as a safe swap either. So you're kind of risky in terms of like your safe swap here. Other than that, like Lantern and Skarmory obviously cover each other's weaknesses super well. Lantern being weak to ground and grass, Skarmory is a great answer to those. Skarmory weak to fire, like that pairing is good. So in theory, your Arctibax is your safe swap. I'm just gonna check people to what they actually say the best sort of safe swap out of these 3 are, and I can't imagine any of them are particularly high. So switches, you have. Lantern as a switch is 8. Water Gun Lantern is 18. Spark is 60 as a switch. Skarmory is at 188, and that's what I'm talking about. You can just get 2 easily walled with Skarmory. And Arctibax is at 38. Arctibax is not a bad safe swap because I think if you're running Avalanche, you can probably hit for neutral anywhere. I guess the hardest would be like Steels would resist everything. But outside of Steels, like if a fairy comes in to beat you, you can still launch Avalanche. So Arctibax is not a terrible safe swap. I actually would probably prefer Arctibax over... I know you're weak to counter too, which is annoying, but I feel like you're probably safer than Lantern. Although Lantern has shown that it can actually keep up with Superior, which is stupid. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.